for someone like Sir Charles, bus conductor, come from down in St. Lucie and so forth, but was very determined, was very eager to be the best that he can be.
And he's bowled in. Full pitch, played right across it and over it, and closes out. Bowled with a new ball, which isn't pitched.
I'm here at the Cricket Legends of Barbados in Fontebelle, St. Michael, with the most honorable Dr. Desmond Haynes. How are you doing, sir?
Leslie, I'm very, very well. I just came back from St. Kitts and I had a lovely time there. And I thought, well, after communications and so forth, it was something that I really couldn't miss, making a contribution to Sir Charles.
Well, it's really an honor to have you here. We're approaching the unveiling of the statue on March 25th here at Kensington Oval. But Desmond, as a Barbadian and a former West Indies cricketer who made tremendous sacrifices, how deserving is this event for someone like Sir Charles Christopher Griffith?
Well, funny enough, I was on the committee that was involved in the one for Sir Wes. And as you know, those two guys are inseparable. So you can't have a situation where you have a Sir Wes statue and not a Sir Charles. And I remember Christy Carey's and the committee saying that the next big move is going to get one for Sir Charles. And, the works started straight after Sir Wes, and, I think it's fantastic also for some people like Sir Charles and Sir Wes who have made a significant contribution. As I said, these guys hunting peers, so you had the Hall and Griffith combination playing for West Indies and terrorizing the rest of the world. So yes, I think it's great. But also what I would like to add to is that the concept of statue, they are also going to be there even when Sir Charles is no longer here. So it's really and truly a lasting contribution. It's something that all the young players, all the young cricketers and everybody will get to know that they had the Sir Charles and Sir Wes statue there, that these guys were the two best fast bowlers in the West Indies back in the 60s.
Well, Desmond, it's interesting that you said that because you formed a formidable pair, Desmond Haynes and Gordon Greenwich, which terrorized many bowling attacks over many years playing for West Indies. But Sir Charles Griffith, a lot of people say he was stern or he has been a very strong disciplinarian. Are there any qualities, I'm sure that you've interacted with him for many years, that you as a player or as an individual would have taken from someone like Sir Charles Griffith?
Yeah, I was lucky that my connection with Sir Charles and Seymour Nurse in a very early stage of my development was when I got called to trials for Barbados under 19. And I think I was still playing on the 15 cricket for Federal High School. But I think it was the connection between the principal at the time was Joy Edwards, who was also in government as a minister. And it was like, go Desi, get some experience. We know you're not going to make the Barbados team, but it'd be good just to go and get the experience. Seymour Nurse and Charlie Griffith is going to look after you. And that is when I first, had connection with him along the lines of coaching. And I remember many times at the lodge at the college ground, near Weymouth there, College A, running around that field, and you're tired and all Sir Charles is interested is making sure that you keep running. So he was also very much into getting you fit and really looking at you as a cricketer who, would be able to endure any type of difficult situations, but his focus was merely to get you fit. And I learned a hell of a lot from that. And since then, I always tried to keep myself as fit as I can when I was playing. And, I thought that it helped me in my whole career because obviously I wasn't one of the cricketers that would get injured pretty easy. So I want to thank him for that. And then I also got involved with the BCL, and then Sir Charles at the time, Charles Griffith at the time, he was the coach and captain of the BCL team, but I wasn't good enough to make that side, to be quite honest with you. I played intermediate, but you had the likes of someone like Lionel Sanford and Joseph Newton opening the batting and Trotman and Straker, and you had Ricky Skeet and those guys playing. There was no way that I could make that team. But I went into the intermediate and I done well in the intermediate, and I used to enjoy watching the way how Charlie, prepared us for, on Saturdays. The practice sessions at Blenheim was just as good as anything that you would get at a test level. I mean, you were having good nets. You were getting people to bowl pace at you. If you couldn't handle pace, then spin. So really and truly in my development, I think he's done a lot for me personally in helping me to be a professional. And then, he obviously wanted to play. Anybody wanted to play in the first team, but unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play in the first team. And then after that, I left and went to Carlton.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because the final question I have for you today is the type of inspiration that Sir Charles you believe can impart upon future generations of cricketers. Because having a statue is one thing, but Sir Charles really exemplified excellence and hard work, and came from the northern part of Barbados, from humble beginnings, 85 years old, young. I want to know from you, Desmond, what do you think Sir Charles really epitomizes?
I think if we can get some more of our players to be students of the game, to get to understand a little bit more on where these past greats came from, I think it would also help them to know how they go about the cricket. Because for someone like Sir Charles, bus conductor, come from down in St. Lucie and so forth, but was very determined, was very eager to be the best that he can be. Got to play for West Indies, then as I mentioned before, the partnership, Wes and Charlie Griffith, and then going into business as well, and making a name for himself with the Barbados Lumber Company. I think that is something that a lot of us should really look at and say, well, look, you should always believe that there's nothing that you can't do. That don't care where you come from, you can be somebody. And I think that is what Sir Charles amplify at the moment. Well,
the very honorable Dr. Desmond Haynes. We know you as Desmond. It has indeed been a pleasure, and I want to thank you. We look forward to that unveiling on March 25th. Once we're in good health and we are on the island, we expect to celebrate this great man.
And I think you deserve it, definitely.
Thank you very much.
A true legend. Yeah.